Breaking news, or should I say heartbreaking news, wrapped in courtroom chaos. Because apparently love, loyalty, and legal drama just collided in the messiest celebrity triangle of the year. You heard that right. Yandy Smith, the queen of composure, might have finally had enough of her longtime husband Mendeecees Harris, and the final straw. A court scandal involving none other than Tamar Braxton. Now, before you sip your tea, ask yourself this. How did a business meeting between Tamar and Mendeecees allegedly spiral into emotional breakdowns? Leaked screenshots and one viral hotel hallway video that has fans playing detective at 3 a.m. Social media is on fire. Twitter threads sound like FBI case files, and Instagram comment sections. Basically digital war zones. Some are calling it love and hip-hop meets Law and Order, while others say it's just another publicity stunt gone nuclear. But here's the twist. Nobody saw coming inside. Sources claim this isn't just another rumor storm. Oh, not this time. There are legal papers, broken vows, and a trail of messages that could destroy more than one career. Buckle up, because what you're about to hear will make reality TV look like a bedtime story. It began with a single post that changed everything. One cryptic caption from Tamar Braxton appeared online, and within minutes the internet was in meltdown. The post read, "Some people you trust will turn your peace into your trauma." And though Tamar never mentioned a name, the world decided to do it for her. Speculation spread faster than wildfire that she was referring to Mendeecees Harris, the same Mendeecees who had long been known as Yandy Smith's partner, husband, and the man she stood by through prison time, public scandals, and endless social media criticism. The internet loves patterns, and this time the pattern looked too obvious. What started as a vague post turned into headlines suggesting Tamar had taken legal action after a supposed business meeting with Mendeecees ended in a way that left her shaken. The timing was suspicious, the tone of Tamar's post emotional, and the silence from both camps deafening. Yandy, always the poised businesswoman and influencer, was reportedly preparing for a brand event when she started receiving messages at lightning speed. People she hadn't spoken to in months were calling her phone asking if she was okay. A friend said she froze, staring at her screen in disbelief as notifications kept pouring in, each one repeating the same thing: Mendeecees and Tamar's names being linked in a court scandal. The first thing she did was call him, but he didn't answer. Then she called again, still no response. Hours later, he finally picked up and told her not to believe the blogs, claiming everything was being exaggerated. But Yandy had heard that line before. She had survived this industry long enough to know when something was off. Those who know her well say she spent that entire night pacing, refreshing her feed, replaying old messages, trying to make sense of how this could even happen. She had built her image around loyalty, marriage, and forgiveness, but in that moment, loyalty felt like weakness. Meanwhile, sources close to Tamar claimed she was emotional, exhausted, and leaning on close friends. According to one insider, there were screenshots, messages, and phone calls that told a story that didn't sound professional at all. If you saw the texts, the source said, you'd understand why Yandy is hurt. Whether that was true or not didn't matter because the public had already made up its mind. On Twitter, fans declared war. Some defended Yandy, calling her a queen for standing by a man so many others would have left. Others sided with Tamar, praising her courage for speaking up. The hashtags began flooding every corner of the internet. By the next morning, this wasn't just a rumor. It had become an investigation led by millions of online detectives. YouTubers were pausing videos to read body language. TikTokers were editing clips with captions like, "He blinked when he lied." And Yandy, who was once so vocal and confident, disappeared completely from social media, leaving behind a silence that only made the story louder. The silence from Yandy only made people hungrier for answers, and within 24 hours, gossip outlets were already claiming to have exclusive updates. Anonymous sources started dropping vague hints that a legal notice had been filed and that what happened between Tamar and Mendeecees was far deeper than a simple misunderstanding. One outlet described a leaked report that supposedly detailed an uncomfortable encounter during that so-called business meeting. The report used phrases like emotional distress and unwanted advances, which were enough to ignite every online platform into chaos. Fans dissected every word as if they were part of an investigation, creating threads that stretched 4 pages while armchair lawyers debated whether there was a case at all. Meanwhile, Yandy was seen leaving her office in New York looking drained but composed. Her face hidden behind dark glasses, her phone pressed tightly to her ear. People close to her said she had been on non-stop calls with her team trying to decide whether to release a statement or wait for the storm to die down. But storms like this rarely fade quietly. Tamar's post was still trending. New blogs were emerging by the hour, and a few claimed to have text messages allegedly exchanged between her and Mendeecees. The screenshots were blurry and inconsistent, but the captions were devastating. One of them read, "Thank you for understanding me when no one else did," and that alone sent social media into an absolute frenzy. Whether the messages were real or fabricated made no difference, because the audience had already chosen sides and built entire storylines around them. Comment sections turned into battlefields of moral outrage and heartbreak, while public figures began to weigh in. A rapper posted that men in power need to stop playing with women's peace. A reality TV star commented that loyalty doesn't mean blindness. And suddenly, every influencer wanted to be part of the conversation. Behind closed doors, insiders described Yandy's mood as quiet and distant. She had not slept, barely eaten, and kept asking her team to double-check everything that was being published. She wanted facts, but all she found were opinions dressed as truth. One of her friends revealed that she cried not because she believed every rumor, but because she could feel her reputation crumbling in real time. This was not just about marriage anymore. It was about the empire she had built, the family she protected, and the image she had carefully crafted over years. Mendeecees, on the other hand, tried to stay calm publicly, but those who saw him said he looked defeated. He told a close friend that he had done nothing wrong, that people were twisting an innocent meeting into a scandal for clicks. But his words carried little weight now. Every time he spoke, the internet twisted it into another headline, and every attempt at damage control only made things worse. As the days passed, the story refused to fade and instead grew into a full-scale media storm that no one involved could escape. No one involved could escape. Reporters began camping outside Yandy's office. Paparazzi followed her to her car, and every public appearance turned into an interrogation disguised as a photo opportunity. When she finally spoke, it was not through a statement, but through an exhausted whisper to a journalist who caught her outside an event. She said only that she wanted peace, and that some things are better handled privately. Yet those few words triggered another wave of speculation that a divorce was already in motion. Within hours, entertainment blogs claimed to have confirmation from unnamed insiders that Yandy had officially met with her legal team to file for separation. The internet erupted once again, declaring the end of a love story that many had admired for years. Tamar, meanwhile, kept her distance but occasionally posted messages about strength, healing, and finding closure. Each post was treated like evidence, every word analyzed for hidden meaning. People began saying she was preparing to reveal more, maybe even appear in court to tell her side. Mendeecees remained almost silent, breaking it only with vague messages about truth, faith, and forgiveness. His silence was read as guilt by some and restraint by others, but either way, it did little to change public opinion. Behind the scenes, friends described the tension between him and Yandy as unbearable. They met privately once at a quiet restaurant away from cameras, but the conversation reportedly ended in tears. Witnesses claimed Yandy sat composed yet distant while he tried to convince her that everything had been misinterpreted. She listened, but her eyes told a story of exhaustion that words could not. When she left the restaurant, she kept her head high, not because she was proud, but because she had no energy left to crumble in public. That moment became symbolic for fans who saw it as the real ending of their marriage. In the following days, Yandy returned to work slowly, appearing at charity events and posting motivational quotes about self-worth and starting over. People called her graceful, strong, and unbothered, but those close to her said she was simply surviving. Tamar continued her projects, but the shadow of the scandal followed her everywhere, shaping how every interview was framed. Mendeecees stayed hidden, reportedly working with advisors to salvage what remained of his image. Then, just when the chaos seemed to quiet down, a new leak appeared online showing alleged footage from a hotel hallway that reignited everything. It was grainy, hard to confirm, and yet it spread like wildfire. Fans dissected it, slowed it down, argued over every frame. And once again, the same question filled every comment section. What really happened that night, and was this the moment that broke Yandy's faith for good? This story may be finished for now, but the questions it raises are far from over. Was this just another celebrity scandal gone too far, or a real glimpse into how fame can destroy the strongest love stories? Only time will tell, but one thing is clear. Everyone involved will have to face the truth sooner or later. The rumors, the silence, the cryptic posts, all of it keeps the world watching and waiting for the next move. Maybe Yandy will finally speak, maybe Tamar will reveal more, or maybe Mendeecees will try to rebuild the image he once had. Until then, the internet will keep speculating and the truth will keep hiding behind headlines. If you want every new twist as it happens, stay tuned, because BuzzVault will always bring you the stories that others are too afraid to touch. Like, comment, and subscribe for more breaking truth from BuzzVault.